Hey everybody, Rob here, Wonderland Tattoo. So I have some questions that were posted on one of the tattoo forums that I routinely go to online, the Rotary Tattoo Forum. These questions were posted by another tattoo artist, and I thought they were kind of cool, so I figured I'd make a video about it. The first question, how long have you been tattooing? Well, I've been tattooing since 1986, so that's going on, like 27 years, somewhere thereabouts. It's been a good ride. A lot's changed, a lot still stayed the same. It's been a very consistent time throughout all of that. Tattoos have become very popular, and then not so popular, and then popular again. So it's kind of like a little roller coaster of fun. Have you ever had problems with your hands or your wrists or your arms as a result of tattooing? I used to. When I used heavier tattoo machines that were made out of bronze. They were kind of heavy. They kind of look like this. That's considered a Jonesy style frame. And they weigh quite a bit. Now I've since switched to rotary tattoo machines, kind of like this one here from Eddie Lawless, and it's really light and a lot less vibration, so my hand is not absorbing all that weight and vibration while I'm tattooing. So I don't have the hand problems that I used to. How many hours a day or week do you spend tattooing? Well, not just tattooing. I don't consider it just tattooing because we're drawing also, so we're always constantly using our hands. So yeah, 35, 40 hours a week I spend drawing and tattooing and taking care of my customers. I try not to do more than that because I want to have a life as well. What style of tattooing, black and gray, traditional, etc., do you work in most? Well, you know what? We kind of do it all here. We don't really specialize in one style. There are artists that do that, and that's just not something that we've ever done here. And that's fine. We like to work in all different styles. They're all fun. They're all challenging, and we enjoy it. Name an artist who has influenced you, and what do I like about them? Well, I can't say that there's been one artist that has influenced me in my career. It's been multiple artists throughout my career so far, and not just tattoo artists. They've been painters and sculptors, graphic artists, even trends that come in and out influence everything that we do. How many tattoo machines do you currently own? I've got about 15 tattoo machines right now. I've got 7 rotaries and 15 coil machines. In the past, what machines have you used the most? How long did I use them and how were they set up? Well, the machines that I used the most in the past were those Jonesy machines that I just showed you. I really liked them. They were made of bronze, so they were heavy. They absorbed vibration pretty well, but they did have a tendency to cramp up the hand, which is always a bummer. I've had them set up many different ways. The Jonesy machine is very adjustable, so I've used them as liners, shaders, color packers, soft black and gray machines. I've tuned them to, whatever needs to be tuned for the style that I'm going to be doing. What is currently my favorite tattoo machine and why? Well, I don't have a favorite tattoo machine because they all do different things exceptionally. For instance, being that I use all rotaries now, this H&M bent frame is an excellent liner. I use it a lot for lining, 5 and up. Five round liners and up I'll use this machine for. My Eddie Lawless is a great machine for doing nice black and gray work. So I enjoy using it for doing that. My Vivace, it's a Neotat. This is a color packer like nobody's business. This machine will pack in color so tight that I just love using it for that. I can line with it, but I don't. This Nix rotary, this was handmade. This machine, I've actually swapped the motor out from the original motor and put in a different motor for doing really fine line work. The motor in here runs very smooth and allows me to do some really nice work. This one here, this is a Ned's. Again, I use this for doing long sweeping lines. It just has a consistency to it that I really enjoy using. If I have to do lettering, especially small lettering, I'll use this Special Technique Carbon Axis. There's only one of these that he made with the brass, and I have it. So all you other tattoo artists can eat your heart out. And then this is a Loro Polini. I've had this rotary machine for, I can't even tell you how long now. And this is a direct drive. The needle connects right here and will direct drive that needle into the skin. This I only use for doing old school traditional color work. That's it. I don't line with this because the needle has a tendency to wobble a little bit, and it doesn't make for a good line. So I don't use it for that. What is currently, how many machines do you use in a typical tattoo? You know, typically for a small size tattoo, 2. I'll use 2 machines. If it's a larger tattoo, I may set up 3 or 4 machines depending on what needs to be done. How much should a good tattoo machine cost? A good tattoo machine should cost you anywhere from $350 to $600. Depending. You know, I mean, it all depends on what you consider a good tattoo machine and what you want in the quality of your machines. I personally want to have the highest quality I can get. Why would I want to tattoo somebody with a $9 tattoo machine made from China that is garbage? I wouldn't want to do that, and I don't think my customers would want me to do that. Name a few things I like or dislike about tattoo machines. I can't say I dislike anything. Some machines, such as the coil machines, they can be a little finicky sometimes. There's some tuning required to get them running right, which usually takes, depending on how many machines you have, could soak up an hour to 2 hours of your time once a week. Rotary machines, there's really not much to dislike about them. You load a needle, you get them set up, and you go. You start tattooing. I have yet to find a feature on a rotary machine that I don't like. There's not one made yet. Unless it's a cheap Chinese one, then I'm sure I won't like it. What tubes do you use? I use all stainless steel tubes. There's some artists out there that like the disposable plastic tubes. I find them too light and too flexible with the weight of the tattoo machine. It may cause them to flex a little bit, which could cause some errors in your lining. In coloring it might not matter that much, but in lining it will definitely matter. Tattoo artists have been using stainless steel tubes for a very long time, and there's no detractor to it. Plus the longevity. You know, if I go with the disposable tubes, the customer is going to have to absorb the cost of those tubes since I can only use them once, and then they have to be thrown away. And I don't think my customers would appreciate the extra added cost to that. What needles do I use? I've used all kinds of needles. Right now I'm using needles from Tatzel. I've used needles from Icon. I've used needles from Danny Fowler, from Spalding. Back when I first started, I had to make my own needle groupings. I had to individually solder all those needles together and solder them onto a bar, which soaked up, you know, anywhere from 4 to 6 hours of my day off, so I could have enough needles for the week. So I'm glad that I can buy pre-made needles now. and I don't have to worry about it. What power supplies do I use? I use an Icon 400. It's a great power supply. It's super stable. Digital readout, push buttons. I can put a barrier film over the front, and I don't have to worry about getting it dirty. I get done with the tattoo. I take that barrier film off, throw it in the garbage. Clean power supply. Let me tell you how nice that is. How important is knowing CPS? CPS is cycles per second, volts, etc. for me. Knowing the cycles per second for a rotary is not a big deal, because that's a rotational thing. So RPMs, rotations per second or per minute. For a coil machine, it's a cycle per second, which one cycle is in and out. That's a cycle. So knowing that helps me tune a coil machine to run at its optimum level. So very important if I'm tuning coil machines. Volts, very important for coil machines and for rotary machines. Rotary machines have a voltage threshold that you don't want to exceed. If you do, you can burn up the motor. So it's possible with a power supply that's not very well regulated and has no voltage readout that you could burn up a rotary machine. And I like to tattoo in a certain volt range if I'm using a coil machine. I don't want to be tattooing at 12 volts and that thing just screaming just to get the cycles per second right. You're going to chew up the skin. What do I think of rotary tattoo machines? I think they're great. That's why I use only rotary tattoo machines now. Why? Because they're super smooth. There's no fuss, no hassle. I pull it out, I use it. I don't have to worry about a spring breaking or you know, a capacitor going bad and contact screw, you know, tightening that up or loosening it up or it loosening up on its own. I've had that happen once or twice. Yeah, rotary machines only. Needle cartridges, he touches on that. Needle cartridge system is where the needle and the tip of the tube are one little tiny thing, and it clicks into a tube, and then you can tattoo. There's already a built-in rod to push the needle. I haven't used them, so I can't really say anything about them. It seems like there's a lot going on, and it seems like it might be more of a hassle, but I know some tattoo artists who use them and they enjoy them. How much would I pay for a tattoo machine that would eliminate the need for several tattoo machines and be adjusted by the push of a button rather than turning a knob or a screw? I don't think any tattoo machine will ever be built. That would be like saying to a painter, hey, here's a paintbrush. If you turn it this way, you can do this stroke. If you turn it that way, you can do that stroke. And if you turn it this way, you can do that stroke. I don't think a painter is going to enjoy using that too much. It may limit his creativity. And I think that would limit the creativity of a tattoo artist as well. Plus, if there's a little button on there, what happens if you push it in the middle of a tattoo? You might screw up the tattoo. And that would totally be embarrassing. And I think a multi-tool tattoo machine is just not a good idea. They should be built with specific purpose. Sure, you can use a liner to color and a shader to line, but it's not going to be as comfortable or productive to do it the right way. So a Swiss Army tattoo machine that will do whatever you want, I don't think that's a great idea, and I don't think that nobody should ever attempt to make one. That's it. I hope everybody finds this kind of informational. I tried to answer these questions in the best way possible. I'm Rob, and I tattoo.